Hello, grade 9s. Our next lesson is about quadrilaterals. Yesterday you learned the interior angle theorem, or IAT, for triangles. First question, just like the other day, let's open it up with what types of quadrilateral do you remember? So pause it, try to name all the four-sided shapes that you can. Here we go. Number one, two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. That is a parallelogram. And I'm going to go two up here so that you can see the diagrams as well. And parallelogram looks like this. These sides are parallel, these sides are parallel, and you might remember that this angle and this angle are equal, and this angle and this angle are equal. You can also just Google a diagram of a parallelogram. Mine are going to be a little bit ugly because of the pen I'm writing with. Two pair of opposite sides that are parallel and opposite sides are equal. And four right angles. Well, that's just a rectangle. I'm sure you remember a rectangle. It's pretty easy, so here it is. These sides are parallel, these sides are parallel, and every single angle is a right angle. So this is my little right angle marker here. Number three, two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. All four sides are equal. That is a square. Square looks like this. So these sides are parallel. These sides are parallel. All four sides are equal. I should have labeled these as equal here. These is equal. These is equal. In a rectangle, these sides are equal. And these sides are equal. I know it's a lot of stuff. You probably don't need to write most of it because you know a lot of this stuff anyway. These are 90. These are 90. Okay, next one. One pair of parallel sides. That is a trapezoid. In a trapezoid, that could look like this. It could look like this. It could look all sorts of different ways. Sometimes there's 90s, and sometimes there's not. All that matters in a trapezoid is that these sides are parallel. Number five, the length of all four sides is equal. So you might be thinking that's a square, but it could also be a rhombus, which I can't seem to draw very well here. Let's see if I can find a rhombus. That'll do. Okay, so that's a rhombus, but that looks more like a square that's been rotated. Let me get a new rhombus here. So there's some good rhombi there. All right, so let me steal this one here. All right, so here's a rhombus. And the only thing that matters in a rhombus is that these four sides are equal. But what ends up happening as well is that this angle is the same as this angle, and these two angles are equal. And that was a rhombus. And number six, two pairs of adjacent sides that are equal, and that is what's called a kite. And a kite is going to look something like this. So these two sides beside each other are the same, and these other two sides are going to be the same. So this should be like this. Equal, equal, equal. And what ends up happening with a kite is that this angle and this angle are also the same. All right. So today is another day of IAT, the interior angle theorem. So the interior angle theorem for triangles is 180 degrees. The interior angle theorem for quadrilaterals is all the angles in a quadrilateral always add up to 360 degrees. So twice as much angle as a triangle. Here we go. Find angle x and justify. So angle x equals, if we know three sides, we know they all add up to 360, so we just subtract the other sides quite simply, and angle x is going to be 360 minus 80 minus 105 minus 75 is 100 degrees by IAT. Just like yesterday, you get a mark for the calculation, a mark for the answer, a mark for IAT. It's a 3-mark question. Number 2, if angle ACD, so check this out, ACD, which means we go from here to here to here. So this is 105. Find angle BDC. So we're going to call that X, because we're looking for X. So this is a kite, right? So this is 105 degrees. So angle BCD or BDC, or you can say X if you want. We know there's 360 altogether. We subtract the 105. We subtract this other 105 because it's a kite. And then we subtract this angle, which is labeled as a 90. And angle BDC, or angle X if you prefer, is 360 minus 105 minus 105 minus 90 is 60 degrees. Now check this out. We're going to say by IAT and by kite. Or and because it's a kite. Either one of those would work just fine. Number 3, one angle of a parallelogram is 60. Determine the other angle. So here we go. First of all, because it's a parallelogram, angle Q is going to be the same. So Q equals 60 by parallelogram. We know the entire thing is 360. So let's find what we have left. So 360 minus 60 minus 60. So 360 minus 60 minus 60 is 240 degrees. So we have 240 degrees left for P and for R, remembering that this is 60 degrees by parallelogram. So angle A, P, I guess. Angle P equals angle R equals, we take that 240, but we have to split it between the two. So we divide by 2. And we get 120 degrees by IAT, and this is a parallelogram, and that's how we know that the angles are the same. So this question, you would get a mark for 60, a mark for parallelogram, a mark for finding what's left, a mark for dividing by 2, a mark for the answer, and a mark for IAT and parallelogram. So 6 marks for this little tiny question. Not bad. All right, here is the practice. So lots of practice here. So let me just go through this. This is the easy one. They're all 360. Remember, this is all IAT. Number 2, these are all parallelograms. So this is going to be IAT and parallelogram for your justification. This is a kite. This one here is a rhombus. So rhombus, kite. This one here. And there is one more thing that I need to teach you that I forgot was in the lesson I skipped yesterday, but it's super straightforward. So check this out. If I had this angle here, let's say this was 120 degrees, what would this angle here be? So what do angles along a straight line add up to? The answer is 180 degrees. This is called the supplementary angle theorem, or SAT. So whenever you have two angles along a straight line, they always add to 180, and the way that we show this is like this. X is 180 minus 120, so X is 60 degrees by SAT. So, as you're going through the homework and you get to this one, you should be able to find this angle, same as this one. These two are going to be the same because it's a rhombus. And then all that's left is to find angle B. And this part is going to be SAT, the supplementary angle theorem, because this angle and this angle add to 180 by SAT. Same here. These two angles add to 180 by SAT. These add to 180. These add to 180. These add to 180. And these add to 180. So there'll be lots of ways to do this. Okay, and I'm going to show the solutions. And I might actually do this one with you right now, because it's a bit tricky. So I'll come over here and we'll get to it. So first of all, I can find angle E. So E is 180 minus 75. 180 minus 75 is 105 degrees. And that's these two, and that's going to be by SAT. So I'm going to write 105 degrees here. I come down here, these two add to 180. So D is 180 minus 102. D is 78 degrees by SAT. So this is 78 degrees. And then I come over here and let's find C. So C equals 180 minus 80 because they're on a straight line. So C is 100 degrees by SAT. And now if we're going to find B, well, we know that all four angles in a quadrilateral always add up to 360. That's today's lesson. So B is 360 minus 105 minus 78 minus 80. And B equals, so 360 minus 105 minus 78 minus 80 is 97. So B is 97 degrees. And that's not SAT, that's IAT because it's all the interior angles, that's the I. So B is 97, and the only one that's left is to find angle A. And we know that these two angles are on a straight line, so they add up to 180. So A equals 180 minus 97. So 180 minus 97 is 83 degrees by straight line is SAT, and that's it. That's probably the hardest question that was in there. And sorry that SAT, I didn't do that yesterday. I skipped that lesson because I forgot there was one additional little piece in there, but I'm hoping that this clears that up. So after that, you got a little bit more homework here. This is some easy stuff. This stuff's all pretty easy after this. That's easy. That's easy. Okay, so I think you're good. Try that homework. I'm going to post the solutions later on today for you to check. Okay, folks, get in touch with me if you have any questions. I'm always happy to help. If you want to set up a Google Meet or even a phone call, an email back and forth, whatever works for you works for me. All right, keep in touch. It's time on.